So if you're anything like me, when you're making beats, sometimes you get kind of tired of just hearing the beats by themselves and you want to hear some sort of vocals or rapping on them just so it feels like I got a finished product out of it. So in this video, I'm going to be showing y'all how you can take an acapella or the vocals from an existing song and fit them to your own beat and in a way make your own remix of the original song. And I'll be showing y'all the whole process and all the tips and tricks that I use to make this happen. And so with all that being said, let's just jump right into it. For this beat, I already have the entire thing done, but I'll just go ahead and break down each component of it. I'll just start off with a new arrangement here, and we can just start off with the original sample on the drums, and then after that we'll move into how I found the acapella and incorporated it. So shout out to Elementary Beats and Codex Beat. Elementary Beats was the one that sent this to me, and I'll just give y'all a quick little preview of the loop. All I did with this was just add a few drum sounds, and I'll just kind of go in and explain those. So for my first couple drum sounds, it's just a clap and a snare layered together. If I double click on these, you can see the MIDI is the exact same. And the two sounds are these. This is just what they sound like, layered on top of each other. Pretty basic. After that, the next drum sound I added was this hi-hat. By the way, all these drum sounds are in my Evolve drum kit. Should be the first link in the description. Yeah, so I just started off with a basic 2-step pattern. I took the paintbrush tool up here and the 1/3 step snap to grid, and I just drew in all these rolls here. This one right here. After those hi-hats, I went and put down an open hat, and this just sits on the 3rd and 7th measures. After the open hat, I went ahead and put down the snare. It's basically just the first half of this thing duplicated. I just went ahead and used the 1/2 step snap to grid in that paintbrush to make this little roll right here. And then last, I put down my 808 pattern. This is just a basic Southside spins type of 808. All this is really doing is just following the bass notes of the sample, and you'll see that once I put it all together. In context with all the other drums, this is what it sounds like. Now putting it together with the rest of the sample. So once I had this, I basically just duplicated it over and over again, and then I copied this over and duplicated it over and over again, and I went ahead and just kind of trimmed some stuff out as I was arranging it, and that's how I ended up getting the final arrangement, which looks something like this. And so now for the actual acapella itself, I'll go ahead and show y'all the process of how I find one that actually fits the beat, how you can do the same thing for yours. So the two things that you're gonna need to make this process really easy is the tempo and the key of your beat. The reason why this is important is because the first thing is it's gonna be easier to find it, and the second thing is gonna be easier to sync up your vocals. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show y'all how I found this one and how I do it for other things too. My go-to website to find these acapellas is TuneBat. Go to Advanced. For me, when I was originally listening to this beat just by itself, I could already hear Lil Baby on it. Just the tempo. So if you already have an artist in mind, like I did, you can go to the seeds right here, click on artist, and then just type in your artist. So for example, for this one, it's Lil Baby, and then just add. That way it'll pull up songs that are by him or by similar artists. And then so the reason why I say you need to know your key and your BPM is you're gonna input them right here. So if we go back to the FLP here, the tempo in the top left is 126, and the key of this is D minor. If you don't know what the key is and you just have your 808 notes, usually it's the most repetitive note or your root note. If not, you could use a plugin like auto key, which will automatically detect it, and that looks something like this. You just hit play and it finds the key for you. So it ended up finding that the key is D minor, which is what it is. You can also use websites like TuneBat, Key and BPM Finder, and then you just drag and drop the file in here and it'll tell you. So now just input the key. So for ours, it is D minor. And then the BPM, I would recommend using a target so it's as close to it as possible. And our tempo was 126 beats per minute. You can adjust these other ones if you want to. I personally don't use it. So I just go here, hit search. So I had to play around with the search a little bit to get my original results. But when I was scrolling down here, the first or second track was Social Distancing by Lil Baby, which fits this perfectly because it has the exact same tempo at 126 and the key is the exact same at F major. If you don't know how to go between major and minor, the major key is just 3 half steps above the minor. So in this case, if it's F major, we'll count it down 3, E, D sharp, D. So the corresponding minor key is D minor. So I went ahead and I got the song Social Distancing.
Told her to fly and she's scared of the virus.
According to YouTube's policy, I can't tell you how I did it, but y'all could probably figure that one out. So once you have this, just go to the top left of it. If you're on FL 21.2 or newer, it has this thing where it says extract stems from sample. So just left click on that. Just extract your vocals and hit extract. If not, I think TuneBat also has a vocal remover, which it does. And then there's also other AI things, but for me personally, I just like having it in FL. It's the quickest and easiest way to do it. So now I have extracted vocals, which are right here. I just trimmed off this little front part. All I'm gonna do is just sync this up with the sample here.
What's happening, chichi? I told her to fly and she's scared of the virus. I sent her a private to get here. I made $400 off each of these pounds. I ain't tripping, it's gonna be a good year.
So if you already have the original song synced up to the grid like I did, all you really have to do is just pull this back. Since we already know the tempo, since this is already the project tempo, you just set it to whatever it is. If it isn't, you hold Alt and Shift and scroll till your first transient hits on like a big line like this, and then you extract your stems. And then once you do that, it should be pretty straightforward. You just drag the vocals all the way back here. This is basically what it sounds like.
I told her to fly and she's scared of the virus. I sent her a private to get here.
Throw the drums in too.
I made $400 off each of these pounds. I ain't tripping, it's gonna be a good year. Solomon driving while I got my hands on the chopper. I'm keeping my eyes in the review. I'm from Atlanta where they pay the triple cause niggas to dap you up and they'll kill you.
So for this specific beat, I was able to find a song that fit it perfectly in terms of key and tempo. If you don't have that, I'll just throw in like a quick little example. So let's say we transpose this beat up 100 half steps, and if I throw the vocals in, it's not gonna match.
Told her to fly and she's scared of the virus. I sent her a private
because it's not in the right key. So a way that you can fix this is you want to route your vocals to a mixer track, and you can use any pitch shifting software, but the one that I've found that works the best is Auto-Tune. And then all you're going to do is just go to like the default settings, and you're just going to change this transpose from 0 to whatever it is. So for example, I moved it up to 1 half step to D sharp minor. So I'm just going to move the transpose knob up +1. And so with this transpose on, this is what it sounds like.
roll up, Tess. I told her to fly and she's scared of the virus. I sent her a private to get here. I made $400 off each of these pounds. I ain't tripping, it's gonna be a good year. Solomon.
So that's just my personal way of doing it. If you want to go here and pitch it up 100 cents, you can. It works, but once you get into like the +200, -200 range, it starts sounding really weird. And that's the other thing in terms of tips. I would say you don't want to use a song that's way out there in terms of tempo or way out there in terms of key. I would say keep the key within 1 half step of it. So for example, if you have a beat that's in A sharp minor, you want to have an acapella that's A minor, A sharp, or B minor. And then for the tempo, I would say try to keep it within 20 BPM ish of what it is. Again, you want to keep that same margin of error. So if you have a beat that's 145 beats per minute, your range would be between like 125 and 165. Those aren't hard and fast rules, but in my experience of doing it, those are kind of the max ranges that I would recommend. But yeah, so once you have all that, you can go ahead and arrange it. Like for this little part right here, I cut out all the drum sounds except for the clap, kind of similar to the actual song.
Some baby gorillas, I know if you, I can buy me a nigga. Said I wouldn't change my chains a little bigger.
You can create little breaks like this with the arrangement.
Hit the bitch for a rat in the north. I'm so sick of these rats and these hoes. I might marry my girl and just go away. Eat her out if she bitch got expensive taste.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. So alright, so that's gonna do it for this one. Hope y'all found this pretty helpful. I thought it was more fun than like the typical, oh, let's just make a beat. It's something that's kind of more finished product. So something a little different. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm still working on my multi-kit. I'm gonna be honest, I just got really swamped with life. So hopefully that'll be out by the end of the year. At this rate, don't look like it. But that's gonna do it for me, and I'll see you on the next one.
Roll up, Tess. I told her to fly and she scared of the virus. I sent her a private to get here. I made $400 off each of these pounds. I ain't tripping, it's gon' be a good year. Solomon driving while I got my hands on the chopper. I'm keeping my eyes in the review. I'm from Atlanta where they pay the triple, cause niggas adapt you up, then they'll kill you. These niggas faking, I'm real, I don't feel them. My niggas takers, ain't worried about them stealing. I run with apes and some baby gorillas. I know a few, I can buy me a nigga. Said I wouldn't change, my chains look bigger. 4 carat rain, even scar if I hit you. Look like a spaceship, got stars in my vehicle. These niggas faking, I don't wanna deal with them all. On social distancing, man, these niggas can't touch me, I can't get sick. Good excuse for me to pour a medicine. She say I ain't got no heart and I'm devil sin. I'm on some savage shit. I got the jump on the switch the car. I got 100 inside of a drum. We pull up clapping a round of applause. We just gon' say that they won a war. Slide in the daytime and come back at night. We gon' make sure that nobody play with us. They make me mad, I'ma turn up. Let's talk about money. I swear I've been saving up. I'm really see what these shit got him throwing up. He hit a lift for a brick, now he going up. My niggas rapping, you see us, we blowing up. Hit the bitch for a rat in the north. I'm so sick of these rats and these hoes. I might marry my girl and just go away. Eat her out if she rich, got expensive taste. We ain't got rest, told her pilot the fucking weight. Ain't no way I can go on no fucking date. I don't know her and she don't know me. My little boy, I'm turned up at a young age. You can say that they running my jeans. On social distancing, man, these niggas can't touch me, I can't get sick. Good excuse for me to pour a medicine. She say I ain't got no heart and I'm devil sin. I'm on some savage shit. I got the drop on the switch the cars. I got 100 inside of a drum. We pull up clapping a round of applause. We just gon' say that they wanna on social distancing. Man, these niggas can't touch me, I can't get sick. Good excuse for me to pour a medicine. She say I ain't got no heart and I'm devil sin. I'm on some savage shit. I got the drop on the switch the cars. I got 100 inside of a drum. We pull up clapping a round of applause. We just gon' say that they wanna war. On social distancing. Man, these niggas can't touch me, I can't.